Have you ever felt it? A sense that the world you see isn't the whole story, that the line between you and everything else is a breath, not a wall, that beneath the noise, a deeper reality is calling your name. You are not imagining it. This feeling is not a new invention. It is an old memory, a truth the mystics, the lovers, the broken ones have always known. Nearly 1,000 years ago, the Andalusian sage Muhyiddin Ibn Arabi, known as the Sheikh al-Akbar, the greatest master, spoke of a reality so profound it continues to call souls home. The school of thought he inspired, known as Wahdatul Wujud, or the unity of being, is not just philosophy. It is a map for the soul's returning. It suggests that all existence is one unified reality, and every single thing is a manifestation of that single divine essence. Tonight, we won't just learn 6 of his truths. We will enter them. These are not simple ideas. They are mirrors that will ask you to see yourself and your world in a light you may have forgotten. And the first truth, it might just change how you see your own reflection. The first truth is not a statement, but a witnessing. You are not just a person, you are a mirror for the divine. In his Ocean of Wisdom, Ibn Arabi uses the metaphor of a mirror to explain creation. The universe was brought into being so the divine could behold its own beauty, and every soul within it is a unique angle of that reflection. You, in your very being, are a place where the divine sees itself. This is the deep light behind the ancient mystical saying, "He who knows himself knows his Lord." Ibn Arabi didn't just repeat this, he entered it. This is not about knowing your personality, your likes, your dislikes. It is a knowing that dissolves the illusion of a separate self. When you look past the ego, past the stories, you find not a void but a presence, a reflection of divine qualities. Imagine a mirror so polished it has no image of its own. Its only purpose is to reflect what is before it. The spiritual path is the polishing of that mirror. The heart, our ego, our fears, our attachments, they are dust on the glass. Through remembrance, through softening, through stillness, we clean the mirror. And as the dust clears, you begin to realize the love you feel, the creativity that moves through you, the wisdom that arrives in a quiet moment. It is not yours. It is the divine shining through you. You are not the source of the light. You are the polished surface that allows the light to be seen. This understanding changes everything. It moves you from seeking to being. You are not a creature looking for God. You are the very place where God is looking. This leads us to a truth that can shake the foundations of the mind. There is only one true existence, one being. This is the heart of Wahdatul Wujud. It does not say that everything is God, a simple pantheism. The teaching is more subtle. It is not that the tree is God, but that the existence of the tree is a manifestation of God's being. Its reality is borrowed from the one true reality. Think of a single silent sun. The rays that pour from it are not the sun itself, but they have no life apart from it. They are how the sun's warmth is felt, how its light is known. In the same way, all of creation is like rays from a single divine sun. Or see it this way, a pure white light passes through a prism and 1,000 colors appear. The colors seem separate. Red is not blue, blue is not green, but their source is one. The world of infinite forms is this display of colors. Each thing has its own beautiful uniqueness, but its underlying reality is singular. To grasp this is to realize the separation you feel is an illusion of the mind. The story of me over here and you over there begins to soften. In truth, we are all waves in the same ocean. The wave rises, takes a form, seems apart from the water, but its entire substance is the ocean, and to the ocean it will return. Recognizing this oneness is the beginning of true compassion. You start to see every person not as another, but as another self, another manifestation of the same one. From this oneness flows the third truth. Everything that happens is a unique, unrepeatable self-disclosure of God. Ibn Arabi uses the term tajalli, an unveiling. He taught that God's self-unveiling never repeats itself. This means every moment, every event, every joy, and every sorrow is a fresh, one-of-a-kind unveiling of reality. In our limited view, life's challenges feel random, even unfair. We face loss, heartbreak, confusion, and we ask, why? But from the perspective of unity, these are not punishments. They are lessons. They are reality, unveiling a specific quality for the sake of your soul's unfolding. A moment of hardship may be a manifestation of God as the restorer, Al-Jabbar, breaking your ego so your true self can breathe. A time of confusion is an unveiling of the hidden, al-batin, teaching you to trust what is unseen. A sudden grace is a disclosure of the all-merciful, ar-Rahman, reminding you of the love that holds all things. When you see life this way, you are no longer a victim. You become a student of reality. The question is no longer, why is this happening to me? It becomes, what divine name is being revealed in this moment? What is reality teaching me now? This does not erase pain, but it gives it meaning. It turns a life of random events into an intimate conversation with the divine, where every single moment is a word spoken into being. The fourth truth is that love is not just an emotion, it is the fundamental force of reality. For Ibn Arabi, the universe was born from a movement of love. He would often reflect on the sacred saying where God states, "I was a hidden treasure, and I loved to be known, so I created the world." This divine love, this desire for its own hidden beauty to be known, is the very reason for creation. Love in this context is inseparable from mercy, rahmah. In Ibn Arabi's vision, God's essential nature is mercy, the all-encompassing force that brings things from non-existence into existence and holds them there. The universe, then, is not a cold machine. It is an act of infinite self-giving. A spiritual person feels this in their bones. The illusion of separation dissolves in this unifying love. This is how Ibn Arabi could write in his Interpreter of Desires. "My heart has become capable of every form. I follow the religion of love. Whatever way love's camels take, that is my religion and my faith." This is not a dismissal of religion, but the recognition of the one love that breathes through them all. When you realize that the very substance of existence is love, your life changes. The goal is no longer to get love. The goal is to become a pure channel for the love that is already everywhere. Every kindness, every forgiveness, every moment of compassion is you participating in the very force that made the stars. The fifth truth gives the path a purpose. You are here not to find a distant God, but to embody the divine names and attributes in this world. Qualities like the merciful, the just, the patient, the wise, the loving are not just ideas. They are active forces that hold reality together. Ibn Arabi deeply developed the concept of the linsanul kamil, the perfect human. This is not a person who is flawless, but one who has polished their heart to become a complete and balanced mirror for all the divine attributes. This is the true work of the spiritual path. This truth moves spirituality from a passive belief into an active state of being. It's not enough to believe that God is compassionate. You must be compassion. It's not enough to admire divine wisdom. You must try to act with wisdom. When you choose patience in a moment of anger, you are manifesting God's name, the patient, as-sabur. When you are generous when it is difficult, you are embodying the generous, al-karimu. Each of us has the potential to manifest these qualities because we are created in the divine form. Our work is to awaken them. This means every small interaction becomes a spiritual practice. How you handle a disagreement, how you speak to a stranger, how you face your day, all are chances to either cloud the divine reflection with ego or allow a divine quality to shine through you. Your purpose is not to become something else, but to be a clearer expression of the divine reality you already are. The final truth is perhaps the most mind-bending. The reality you experience is a direct reflection of your own consciousness. Ibn Arabi speaks of imagination, khayal, not as something unreal, but as the very isthmus between the spiritual and physical worlds. The outer world becomes a mirror of your inner state. If your inner world is full of fear and turmoil, you will perceive a world that is threatening and chaotic. If you cultivate inner peace, love, and gratitude, you begin to see the beauty and harmony that were always there, waiting for your heart to recognize them. This is not the modern idea that you can simply think your way to a new external reality. It is deeper. The work is not to change the world out there, but to purify the lens of perception in here. Highly spiritual people understand this. They take responsibility for their inner state, knowing it is the paintbrush with which they color their experience of the world. When you grasp this, you realize the power of inner work. You understand that by shifting your inner state from fear to faith, from resentment to forgiveness, you fundamentally alter the world you inhabit. You stop feeling like a pawn in the game of life and realize you are the space in which the game is being dreamed. This is the ultimate awakening, the knowing that you are not in the universe. The universe is in you. These 6 truths, that you are a divine mirror, that there is only one being, that every moment is a message, that love is the fabric of reality, that your purpose is to embody divine qualities, and that you are the dreamer of your world, are not just ideas to be understood. They are doorways. They are invitations to return. They are one way of mapping the ultimate realization of unity, that the separation between you and God, between self and other, between inner and outer, is a persistent but beautiful illusion. To awaken is to see through the illusion while still loving the beauty of the form. The journey Ibn Arabi describes is a journey from the imagined self to the true self. It is the realization that you are not a speck of dust in an uncaring cosmos. You are the eye through which the cosmos beholds its own beauty. You are not a seeker of love. You are an expression of love itself. If these truths open something in you, not just your mind, but a locked room in your heart, then let it keep opening. Subscribe to Heart's Whisper for more than reflection, for remembrance, for the light that doesn't preach but accompanies. The true journey is living it. And maybe next time you look at the world, you'll feel it looking back with recognition.